Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here and follow me on my sewing journey. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Great to see everybody here in the chat. Yay. I'm so glad you guys are here. We've got new people. I have a sunshine committee walking around in the back. I know you guys are wandering around here. And we've got a virtual kitchen. So be sure to wander over there. Scotty Dog is usually running the kitchen. We have lots of fresh goodies in there, and Barbara is on the coffee pot. So where is my Frito? There she is. She's like, Mom, stop talking. Please pay attention to me. Yes, my sweet girl. There she is. There's my Frito. This is our little rescue. She has been with us for about 2 years now. We just had a little birthday party for her little gotcha day. There you go, sweet girl. Yeah. These are little biscuits from Dave. Is Dave flying today? Here you go. Yeah, go brush your teeth. Bye-bye. All right. Dave was working yesterday. Belly rubs. You're getting belly rubs, Frito. Good for you. Friend for life. You rub her belly. You're friend for life. Oh, my goodness. Okie dokie. Oh, and Daddy's up. That's good, too. All right. Life is good. I love Embroidery Thursdays, too, Vicki. They're so much fun, aren't they? So my apologies for being a minute or two tardy. There was a line at the coffee pot, you guys, and I can't just jump in line like that drama queen going, oh, it's all about me. Y'all need to, excuse me, pardon me. But I got my coffee. So I got a one of those little machines. It's a Ninja, and it'll either do the pods or the drip. And I prefer the drip because I don't like doing plastic. But the drip takes longer. So it really was a coffee. I'll blame the coffee pot. All righty, y'all. So today is Embroidery Thursday. And on Embroidery Thursday, we do usually run a little bit long because the projects take a lot of time. Now, what did I do with those papers? There they are right there. So we are going to be doing the bin or the tote from the Bella box. I'm seeing comments below yesterday's video when I did the box reveal that they might be sold out. I don't know. So I'm just thinking, I don't know. Now, they do have individual pieces, parts and pieces of Bella boxes for sale, or parts and pieces from other projects. Like I know you can get, they listed the clock face as separate, or the clock itself as separate. That's sold out too. So I don't know. Anyway, but for those of you that were able to get it, good for you. This is a Kimberbell product. Okay, and their subsidiary company, Me Time, Machine Embroidery Time Delivered, is the one that manages the sales of all of their physical products. Okay, so you ordered it and you got a confirmation. Good for you, Barbara. You were one of the few. I know. The few, the proud, the Kimberbellas. I love that. I am sitting here in front of my Brother Luminaire. This is an XP1 that was upgraded to the XP3 over time. And this design only takes a 5x7 hoop, which is pretty standard for Kimberbell. Okay. So Donna has a good point. She says they're really nice, but they're a little expensive. I'll give you that. However, you are getting 5 on this particular one, 5 or 6 projects and all the goodies to go with it, all of the embellishments and all the stuff. So that's the thing, that's the thing. But I understand budget completely. So if you're making this with me, oh, the designs are in your account, Elaine. Good. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. In your fabric packet, where you need to get your little pieces cut out for the applique for the main project, okay? there is a piece of Kimber Bell's wash away stabilizer. This is the topper, okay? But this particular design requires a sticky back stabilizer, sticky back wash away stabilizer, not just any sticky back stabilizer, a wash away. Now, oh, good. Bernadette's back on the grid. That's great. Yo, Miss Frito's right here. She's right here. She's just going to sit there and look so pretty right there. She's sitting there staring at me just in case a biscuit might fall. You never know. All right. On this particular project, though, we're going to be embroidering on this bin, this little tote. Okay. And in the tote, you've got an extra little piece in here. Back in the 90s or 80s, we used to call this pleather, remember? So it's pretend leather. It's what it feels like. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't have that cheap smell. So it's nice. But this is your sample piece to do a test on. And that's what we're going to do first, because the instructions tell you there are 3 different parts to this bin. And the first one is, the first part of it is to test to see what settings your machine might need. Now, if you're brand new to embroidery, you might be going, wait, what settings? Especially if you're on a machine like my original machine, the Brother PE 770, which is a great machine. There are a lot of embroidery machines, you can't change a lot of settings, okay? And so I suspect, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect what they mean by that is the speed of the machine. So just FYI on that. So on your little test, because I'll show you. Yesterday, when I did the box reveal, I had talked about how they give you step by baby step, right, of what to do. And in real big letters here on the page 1, it says 3-part project, 3 parts. Now, this can seem really intimidating to a beginner embroiderer. Don't worry about it. The only thing that's really different about all of this is the material that you're stitching on. That's really the only thing that's different. And they just want to see how your machine on a test can handle making the design on the big project, because you don't want to ruin that little tote, right? So, okay. Touch that. Now, the only thing now, so here in your design file, so these are your written instruction, but you also get design files. Okay. And in the design files, this is where they tell you, go to the iHeart Applique's test sample PDF to see what they're talking about to be able to do your test. Okay. You got to I recommend before you ever start this Bella Box project, open your design files, kind of wrap your head around where the instructions are, where the design files are, and open all, just kind of know and get to know. You're going to be able to download all of the formats. The zip file that you download contains all of the formats for all home embroidery machines. You can feel perfectly comfortable deleting those formats that don't belong to you if you worry about stuff like that. Some people don't like having all that extra memory. It's not big, but the big thing that takes up the memory on those zip files are these PDFs with pictures in them. But design files are teeny tiny, completely up to you. You can get rid of all the different ones. Like, I don't have a Janome machine, so I'm perfectly fine deleting the Jeff file. Just FYI, you can do that if you want, because I get that question a lot. Then once you get them all on your machine, unzipped, unpacked, ready to go, you can delete the zip file if you want, because it's in your account at me time and you can go get it. Okay. Again, if you need to download it again, if things happen. So y'all, Bernadette's been here. I thought she Weren't you on some kind of generator, Bernadette? Debbie, exactly. Oh, Debbie, your quilt's turning out beautiful. I'm very excited about it. Finish it up today. Turning out too pretty. Did you see it on Sewing Machines Plus's Takeover Tuesday? Just doing little swirlies on there. So cute. I'll choose a different pattern for the other one. All right. Yeah, you guys can only, Ginger says the delay is weird. You can only listen on one device because when you live stream, depending on the device that it's coming in on, determines how fast the audio and video travel. Okay, so just one. You're welcome, Debbie. Okay. All right. So on this, if you read through this, it's a 4-page PDF. This is the test sample. And they give you this cute little design. This is an extra design. Super cute. Okay. Where it's going to go through different stitch types that, like we have applique, we have the little tiny hearts are satin fills. The stitch around the heart, the pink and the blue and all that, that stitch, that is a decorative stitch. So you've got 3 different types of stitches on this little sample. And that is to kind of check out your machine's ability to handle those different stitch types on your sample paper, on your sample pleather. I forget what they call this, faux leather. That's too hard, pleather. You just, if you're young, sorry, it's faux leather, whatever it is. These are nice because if you look, you can't see, it doesn't look white inside. It's colored throughout. So that's a solid core sample. It's very nice. You get good quality products with Kimberbell. Now this sample has a textured side and a smooth side, it says. And I can't see the difference, but I can feel the difference. So this is the smooth side. So we're going to do this side up. So we'll get to that in a minute, but it does say to pay attention to which side is which. All right. I'm going through this on baby steps because when we get to the real project, I'm going to just breeze past all of that. Okay. So now, because of how I roll, they gave you this nice pretty thing, tells you to stitch it in different colors and use different applique fabric so that when you finish it, if you want to, you could save it. When you get done with this is 4x6. You could put this on a nice 4x6 cardstock, right? Or you could mount it to a 5x7 greeting card, right? And just have a pretty little Valentine's Day card. How nice is that? Or an I love you to somebody, you know, how nice is that? So this is meant to be a functional sample. I'll never do that. I know me, and I'll never do that. Some of you are nodding your head going, I'd never do that either. That's not how I roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use one color of thread. I'm not going to do the applique, and I'm just going to jump around to the different stitch types and let it run a little bit, see how it does in one thread color. And when I'm finished, I'm going to throw this away. Clutching your pearls. It's fine. I don't want it. More stuff in my room I have to manage. So that's me. You can put it in a picture frame. Yes, Kim, there are lots of things you could do with this. If you were so inclined to do that, I am not. So I want to get through this sample, see how my machine's running, and then jump to the fabric, the bin. Okay. More coffee. Yeah. If you're new here, let us know. I've got, like I said, I got a wandering committee wandering. If you're watching on replay, thank you. I appreciate that so much. All right. Okay. Now, you've got to use a sticky back wash away stabilizer. Here's what I have in my hoop is a sticky back wash away stabilizer. When you use sticky backs, so this feels like a fabric, right? And then you can use a pin, but because I'm power tools with thread, I got fancy toys. I have a handy dandy heavy duty scorer. I can't even remember where I got this. I think, oh, I know where I got this. Kim from Scrappy Quilter gave this to me. I came in the store one day. She says, you got to check this out. It's pretty cool. Not cheap. So I don't have it linked. So you're just going to take your little, you can use a straight pin. And you want to give your, see now, you're not supposed to do things in the air. You'll poke a hole through it. I tell you guys that all the time. Let me put this down here. You're supposed to take it and just do it, run a score. You want to give yourself as much sticky as possible. First time I've ever used this. I am, as a rule, not a fan of sticky back stabilizers because my repair guy told me that sticky back stabilizers and cheap thread keep him in business. Oh, this isn't good. What's going on here? I got to peel this up. Y'all, I've had this stuff forever, so it might be a little, okay. I didn't get into hooping it because I'm going to hoop another piece when we do the real project. I don't know if I'm happy with this. I've used other sticky back stabilizers, but not water soluble. There. It was just me. Okay. Now you're going to stitch some placement lines on this. You're soaking in the tub. Bonnie's naked, y'all. Bonnie's in her birthday suit. You brought that on yourself, Bonnie. You can't throw that out there and not think I'm not going to jump on that. Woo, everybody close your eyes. Priscilla Goodbody, the house censor. That's what my mom used to call me. Ah. Oh, no. Oh, geez. Okay. So the one thing they did tell you in the instructions on your test sample was, where's my glasses? Page 2. Before you begin, to ensure your machine is ready to stitch on faux leather, follow these steps to test your machine settings on the faux leather sample using the 5x7 iHeart Applique's test file. This test sample will not be used in the final project, but will help you determine if you need to adjust your machine settings. What does that mean? What settings? Beyond tension, right? So I suspect they just mean the speed. And I think I said that already, but that's what I suspect they mean. Before you stitch, clean your machine. And then they get real specific and install a new 7010 needle. Now, I don't have a 7010 needle. I have a 7511, and that's what I'm using. Why would they want that tiny little needle? Probably because they don't want you leaving big old holes in your faux leather, in your pleather. They don't want you leaving big holes in there, right? So that's the only thing I can think of. So it'll pierce nice and clean. That's the only thing that they get specific on. Ensure your machine and the needle are threaded correctly and the tension is set properly. I don't have any control over my upper tension, so I'm not going to fiddle with that. The faux leather sample has a textured side and a smooth side. Stitch on the textured side. So very specific on that. All right, so I've got the fusible backing. I'm going to pull up my design here. Embroidery, I'm going to the pocket for memory. Send it over wirelessly because I pulled it into Embrilliance first and then sent it over using Embrilliance. Okay, and it's called BB Test Hearts. That's what I called it, and set. So there it is. You don't have to figure out center or anything. They do that for you, okay? I guess I could do an applique. I guess I could. Now they have you do some fusible woven on the back of your little applique pieces, okay? That is to prevent any kind of puckering because of the fill stitch that goes around the outside of the fabric. You love my ladies? Did you mean you ladies? Karen, I love my ladies too. I think they're awesome. And my gents. Okay. I don't have any thread in my needle. I'm going to use this. I've got black on the machine. I'm going to use black because do I want to use black? No. I want to use a thread that I can see against this, a distinctive color against this. And I want to see the stitch quality. So I'm going to use a lighter colored thread, but one that does not match. Because this is just a test. This is a test of the emergency embroidery system. Should this have been an actual emergency, you could go watch Power Tools with Thread and figure out how to fix what you messed up. Okay. Where's my... Now, when I change my thread, if you're new, I long tails at the top. I make a single loop and pull both tails through, and then I unthread the needle and pull it through the machine. Okay, this needs to go here, there. Okay. All righty. So the first thing it's going to do is place an alignment line, a singing roll. Y'all, there's always music in my head, always. So the very first stitch is an alignment line. We're going to put that on there. I need to tap embroidery to get ready to go. And it's going to do the little layout and guidelines and whatnot. Am I going to be able to see that color? No. What did I just say? Use a color that is distinctive so you can see. Oh my goodness. I wasn't thinking. I need to be able to see the stitch quality on each one of these kinds of stitches. A decorative stitch, a fill, and an applique. Make sure everything's going to do just right. Okay. Oh, I'm like, why is my light red? Because I didn't have my little arm down. Okay. Now, on a fabric solvable, a sticky, water-soluble stabilizer, that's not really paper. Okay, so when my repair guy said sticky stabilizer can gum up down inside the machine. So y'all be very, very careful. If you buy sticky stabilizer from a knockoff somewhere, I don't like how it sounds because it's tacky and I don't care for that. Anyway, you guys be very, very careful about that. I do not recommend cheap stabilizers, especially sticky back. If that stuff gets shredded down into your bobbin case and all that, and it'll gum up the whole mess, you don't want to do that. All right. Now, what do I do? What do I do now? Now it says, okay, do all that. And I didn't print page 3. Well, it's not hard. So the next stitch is an outline stitch for the applique. Again, smooth side down. I've got just this little bitty hoop here. So I'm going to put this, I'm just going to center this on here. I'm eyeballing it. If you guys want it to be really nice, you know, get out the measuring stick and figure out and get it centered really nice. So I'm just going to put this on here, textured side up. Okay. I'm going to tape it. I get a lot of questions. Where'd I get this aqua tape dispenser? Y'all, that was a Bella Box exclusive several years ago. So now you can get different color tape dispensers, but you can't get this one. It was a Bella Box exclusive. Okay, so that's good enough right there, I think. I don't know if I'd iron on this. I don't think so. All right. So let's see how this stitches on this pleather, shall we? Where's my button? So you guys can take a look. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea, Pam. She says, after using this, make sure that you clean your machine case out. First time I've ever stitched on this stuff. Let's see. I've got a 7511 organ needle in there. Not bad. Okay. I need a scrap. Oh my goodness. Somebody said Kimber Bell is no longer going to put out the SVG files, which not a big deal. Here's fabric and pleather. Their files I never had success using their SVG files anyway. I always made my own using a Brilliance. That looks good. Okay. All right. Bring you guys down here. We have to back up a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, when you guys are doing your applique trimming, if you're new, you definitely want a curved pair of scissors. Where are my good curves? These are my duck bills. So you want a pair of curved scissors. When you trim, so you want this part, the flat part, against the fabric flat so that you can see a gap where the tip is sticking up. Don't trim like this against it where you're getting the points in there. That's not the point. You don't want to do that because you'll trim it too short. Okay. So you want to put your scissors flat. They are curved to do the work for you. If you are right-handed, cut clockwise. If you are left-handed, cut counterclockwise. I should say if you're using left-handed scissors. You want the lower blade as close to the stitching as possible, and that will give you a nice trim. Industry standard on the final stitch that goes around the applique is anywhere from 3 to 3.5 to 4, depending on the digitizer, millimeters. And so it will be big enough to cover your little raw edge. Okay. All righty. There. I don't know about Insulbright hurting your machine simply because there's a piece of stabilizer between, there's a layer of batting, a piece of stabilizer between the case of the embroidery machine and the aluminum foil or whatever it is that's inside of the Insulbright. That would protect it. The reason you get stabilizer, sticky back stabilizer down into your machine is because there's nothing underneath it to, once that needle starts perforating it and it shreds, okay, there's nothing there to catch it. I've never had trouble doing any kind of anything with Insulbright on my embroidery machine. All right, so next is a decorative applique stitch and a little fill heart. So let's see what's going to go on with that. And then that's all I'm going to stitch because these, oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be doing a piece of, let me cut this. I forgot. You're supposed to be doing this stuff because your stitches will sink down into the leather. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I'm going to put that there. Let me see how that works. I didn't tape it down. I stuck it to the sticky bag. Well, this is good. So we'll get a real close-up and personal look at the difference between using a topper or not. You sold your Vernia. Good for you, Jamie. That's a blessing. You've always cut counterclockwise and had a hard time, Patty. Yeah, totally. Get your lowest scissor blade closest to the stitching, and you do that based on the direction that you cut. See, worth the price of admission here this morning, huh? All right. So these are the 3 different types of stitches that are in this sample, and this is all I want to stitch right now. That's it. Let's take a look. I'd like to do a little fill stitch without the topper too. Okay. Let's see what we got. So the 7511 needle's working just fine. That's very pretty. Okay. And when you're tearing away topper, just give it a quick rip like that. And you'll get all the little bits. Okay. I don't know. Oh, I got a pulled thread there. That was me when I put the topper on. All right, let's take a look up close, shall we? Let's look. Let's get up real close. So I got a little loose thread right there. That satin stitch looks really pretty. Nice defined edge. The applique is nice. Let me get that little piece off there. Y'all be careful pulling off that topper. You don't want to pull your thread loose. But that was where I stopped the machine and then put the topper on. I like it. I think it'll work. Do you like it? I think it'll work fine. Is there a big difference between Brother and Baby Lock? Price tag. Kimberly. Yeah. No, they're not. They're made in the same factory. Brother and Baby Lock machines, and I say this like I sound like an expert, but this is what I've been told because I talk to dealers. So Brother and Baby Lock machines start at different parts because they get different casings, color casings, and they have different brains because they get different designs. But how it all functions, the screen layout, your operating system is all the same. The Baby Lock and the Brother have different designs in them. They are put together on the same, I don't know about the same assembly line, but they're on the same factory, same thing. And then they split at the end and go into different boxes. That's what I'm told. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I'm told by people. I know people. Just like GMC and Chevy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to call this a successful sample. I'm going to pop this hoop out and we're going to go. I like it. So tossed. All right. I'm going to rehoop. I don't know that Brother makes Baby Lock. I know that they share a multitude of the same components. Okay. I need to open this up pretty big. If you are new to embroidery, your hoop will have some kind of indicator at the top. I got north, south, east, and west, right? I've got little indicators. This has a tiny little triangle showing north or top. And then on the inner ring, this has a little arrow as well. So I know those arrows go together, and this has just a little mark. Okay. And then here are my side to sides. But the important one is the top. That matters. So fabric side down, paper side up. I just want to make sure I have got plenty of paper there. Whoop. This is hard, y'all. Hold on. I have a thing. Just a minute. I have a thing. Oh. Dime hoop mat. Prevent your hoop from sliding around. These are so handy, especially if you're using the traditional hoop that came with the machine. See, and Devetta, she says, I'm a baby lock girl. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. You know, and some of us don't have brother dealers nearby, and you only have a baby lock dealer, and that's fine. You become brand loyalists. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. All right, let's try this again. I hope this thing is big enough. I just need a little bit hanging out here. There, that's good. There. Hoop mat makes all the difference in the world. I've got links below to designs and machine embroidery. Anything dime, you can use that link and go take a look. There we go. That's in there good. And it'll just go look at hoop mat. Hi, Heidi. You wonder if the magnetic hoops won't hold on faux leather. Well, Wendy, the magnetic hoop is going to be holding the stabilizer. The faux leather floats. All right. Nice and tight. I like it. I think that'll hold without popping. We don't want anything popping out. So, good stuff. All right. You should have a little bit more sticking out here on the ends, but I didn't cut it right. So, wondering why I didn't choose a magnetic hoop. I don't know. I guess just to show 5x7s. You guys, a lot of times I do stuff old school because we've got folks who, yeah, Dime has sticky hoops. I don't know if they've got sticky wash away, right? Because when I'm showing things online, I don't want somebody who's brand new and they don't know any better to go, oh, I don't have that hoop, so I can't do this project. You know what I mean? So I really want to help out and do as close to bare bones. This is the basics of how you would do this. Occasionally, okay? You guys know I love using my magnetic hoops. I use them all the time. So you certainly can use, oh, thank you. Lynn says, score your stabilizer. I got stuck on that question and I forgot, didn't I? Yep. No, I didn't take the paper off. I was yakking. That's what I got you people for. All right. So I'm going to score this now. And we're going to play this game again. Now I got to read the instructions on placement of this thing. It seems a little hard, but we're going to get it done. I got all my threads already picked out and everything. Okay. Make a big X. Okay. Sounds like a plan. You can use a straight pin for sure. Yep. Okay. Works fine. See, I told you it was operator error on the first time. Okay. Look how easy that was. See? All right. So again, if you want to do that first design, the test, and see if it's going to work, go right ahead. I'm going to go back to home. and tell it okay to cancel. Embroidery, pocket for memory, wireless, BB tote, I called it, and set and embroidery. All right, here we go. Now this one tells you, now it's going to tell you about, what was that I hooped? Water soluble sticky back stabilizer, just like it says. Okay. What's it say? Sticky back wash away stabilizer. That's it. All right. Before you stitch this project, test your machine's settings by stitching a test file. We did that. See, part 1 done. Yay. That was easy. Stitching the design on the storage tote. All right. So you need to get your little blank, and then it wants you, notice how they're numbered. See how they're numbered? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the little small flap is number 4. Just pay attention to that. All right, we need to iron fusible backing to all the wrong side of the fabric pieces. Done. I did that last night in my house coat with a glass of wine for you guys. I got ahead of the game. All right. Now, sticky back wash away. Hoop the sticky back wash away. Glossy paper, done, scored. Load the embroidery file. But look at that. We're just cruising through this. Been right through it already. All right, now I'm on page 10. Stitch the placement guides and centering tick marks. So when you're doing Kimberbell designs, if you're a noob, you're doing Kimberbell designs, they have a machine and a 1 and an eyeball right here. A machine and a 1. So the machine means that's stitch number 1 on your thing here. So they correspond, so you know what's going on. So there were a whole bunch of stitch steps ahead of time that are numbered with the little block. And it has an iron to tell you to iron the fusible onto the back of your applique fabric. So these are the steps that you need to take to do the whole thing. And then the step with the machine and the number. So that helps you to go, I don't know what number I'm on. I got to look. So if you get lost, that happens. You can look at your step on your machine and it'll tell you, I'm fixing to do number 8, right? So then you can jump. You can look for stitch number 8. So there's 5. And so stitch number 8, you're doing the satin 3 outline, and it tells you what color of thread to use. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the layout. I need a little ruler. Now that stitch is not going to be seen, so you don't have to worry about what color thread you're using. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go through all of the instructions and take a look at it and say which thread is used first that can be seen. And it's that this color right here. Y'all, the color of threads in this. Zaffre. Zaffre. I don't even know what that is. I probably said it wrong too. Space Zaffre. They're using Glide thread colors. I know they're using Glide. But they give you all your thread colors right here. I don't know what that is. So I tried to match it as close as possible. And woo, very, very dark gray, kind of a teal. All right. So that's, I'm not going to change my thread right now. All right. So here we are on step number 8. Locate the flap, section 4, on the textured side of the tote. From the end of the flap, measure 2 7/8 to the left on each end of the flap and make a mark using a water-soluble pen or a fingernail indentation. I don't have a water-soluble pen. Well, I probably do, but I don't know where it is. Oh, I don't need that right now. Where's my thing? It does peel easier with an X. Thank you. So here we go. Here's all of our sections. Look at this. The folded inside is the textured side. The smooth out here, that's the outside. All right, so I need this flap 4. Okay. And y'all, I got a heat away. I'll use that. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to make a tiny little. You looked it up. It says it's a deep blue. All right. Well, that fabric is, I thought I was going to use, this is what I've got. I think that'll work. It's like a deep blue gray. I dug around for this, y'all. This is Glide Starlight. I don't have the color that they're talking about, so I got as close as I could. All right. See, you can make do. You don't have to have exactly what they say. So I need to measure in 2 7/8 from the edge. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 7/8 right there. I'm going to put it on a little end. Tiny little mark. Tiny little mark. I could probably get rid of it with a little saliva. Let's see. All right. There we go. 2 7/8 in. All right. Not hard. Going for blood work. I hope you studied for your test, Elaine. Bye. Okie doke. You wish you could use larger hoops? You know, that's the thing that's really nice about Kimberbell is everything's really set for a 5x7. All right. So now, they say, I think you got to put your little tick marks that you made from the end of the flap, measure in. I did. Okay, centering the tick mark. Place the tote flap, textured side up, inside the placement guides on the stabilizer and align the marks on the tote flap with the centering tick marks. Smooth the flap firmly and ensure it is adhered well and tape in place. So just a note, here's the handle of the thing. Put this over here like this. All right, so that the rest of your tote is hanging off the outside of the embroidery machine. Don't do it backwards like I'm prone to do, okay? So I'm going to take those little pink tick marks that I made right on the edges there, and I'm going to line them up. See, it's not hard. I don't think it's hard. Let me fold this like this. Okay. That looks pretty good. Thank you, Donna, for your super sticker. That's very sweet, darling. I appreciate that. Cheap class, right? Cheap class. Okay. So I've got this like this. I don't want it to pull up. I've stuck it really good. And now I'm going to tape it real good. Stay put, right? Stay put. Perfect. Now, they want you to fold this big dog up. Let's see. Smooth side up. It wants you to tape this thing so that it doesn't flop around. Well, they are using the hoop that they show. This hoop, see those metal handles out there? That comes off a multi-needle. I'm not on a multi-needle. They just want to make sure that this doesn't cause drama. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't know that I need to, but I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and tape it so that, you know, maybe like that. So that this all stays together. It doesn't flop around. I'm just going to tape like up under here a little bit. And so that's going to stay, okay? And they've got it taped down on the sides. I can't imagine. So I can tape this in here. Look at that. Can you see what I'm doing? What is the inside of the bag? I don't know. The inside is kind of a textured has a textured surface. There. This is as good as it gets for me, y'all. I think that'll work. You think that'll work? I think it will. Wrong side. No. This is the textured side, and it's over. What? Shouldn't it be face up? Y'all, this is the textured side. It is folded. You've got to stitch on the textured side, right? All right. Just double checking. This is the smooth side. This is the textured side. Okay. Textured side up. Okay. If it's backwards, we'll all learn a lesson. Textured side up. Wait a minute. From the end of the flap, measure blah, blah, blah. Place the tote flap, textured side up, inside the placement guides, textured side up. Okay. It looks like I'm going to stitch on the inside, but it flips when you fold it, when it all goes together. Align the marks, and I'm glad we're going through this because this happens. All right, Claudia says I got this. I'm pretty sure I do. Y'all, I read this last night. I told you with a glass of wine. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Smooth the flap firmly and ensure it says textured side up. This is textured side up. Yeah. Now what? Okay. This is right. When moving the hoop and tote, support them well to accommodate the extra weight. Yeah, yeah. They have it all folded open. I don't have it folded open. You guys are having a good time. Yeah, the flap flips to the outside. That's the thing, y'all. Here is a phrase you will hear when you go to a Kimberbell class. Trust the process. Okay? Trust the process. This has been tested by Cindy. Tested and retested. So let's see if this works. I need to change my thread color. I think this is going to work. Yep. You need a glass of wine that holds 750 milliliters. I know you can find one. I'm sure they're out there. All right, I need that really dark color. So let's get to stitching on this thing and quit fiddling around. Look at that. My screen went dark. Okay, we're going to do the applique. Y'all get all wound up, my word. And I appreciate that because usually you're right. Okay. Here is the placement line for that dark fabric. Now it's just a matter of stitching standard old embroidery. I've got an extra thread here. I'm going to trim that off. Okay, I'm going to use little pieces of tape. And this is on the blue. You guys, I don't get all hung up on trimming exactly on these, you know, because that's going to get cut away. Don't get all wound up about that. Just make sure you've got tape on it to hold it down. Okay. All right. This is your tack down line. It goes around twice. Now we need to trim it away. Okay. Now we're rocking and rolling. I am using Kimberbell paper tape. Support this as it comes off the machine. Okay. I didn't think, I've never stitched on this, and this is kind of cool, you guys. I like it. Again, Trim, don't trim with the points. You want the flat part, the rounded base of the scissor on the next to the thread. If you're right-handed, trim clockwise. If you're left-handed, trim. If you're using left-handed scissors, trim counterclockwise. I know some of you lefties use right-handed scissors. It's really about the scissor. You want the lower blade of the scissor as close to the stitching as possible for a nice clean trim. Okay. Always, always, always applique on a firm, flat surface. Oh, topper. Good idea. Yeah, I need to put topper on now. Right? Did they say to put the topper on there? Let me see. Place the wash away topping. You're right. Thank you. So I got my wash away topping. Where did it go? There it is. And I need to tape that down. So that's on the sticky back. They give you that. That's cool. Okay. Back in it goes. Y'all notice too, when I push my hoop back into the machine, I just gently hold on to, there's our hour. If some of you have to go, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to continue on and I hope you can stick around, but I know others have a life and I get that. So I'm going to keep stitching here, but and give the video a thumbs up before you go, if you would be so kind. And if you are watching on a TV, get your channel remote and hit the channel up button, and that gives me a thumbs up as well. Awesome. So when I push the hoop back into the machine, I hold on to this and just put my hand on it, just so I can make sure I'm not gripping it with the death grip, but I'm just making sure that this arm does not move. If the arm moves, which happens, because sometimes you're trying to shove it in there and then the arm goes, right? If the arm moves, what you need to do is look on the screen of your machine, okay? Let's look on the screen of the machine. And I need to pay attention to the fact that I'm on stitch 285 out of 10907. 285, that's my magic number, okay? So then what you want to do, maybe is the design facing the wrong way? It loaded in, Kimberbell did it. Okay, it better not be the wrong way. Let me double check. No, it's right. You can see here, it's right. So if you ever move the arm when you are in the middle of an embroidery machine, you've got to stop what you're doing, pay attention to the exact stitch that you're on. You're going to turn the machine off. Just remove the hoop. You don't have to take the project out. Remove the hoop, turn the machine off, turn it back on, reload the design, okay? And then use your needle plus minus button to jump up to stitch 285 or your magic number or whatever that is. Then you can put the hoop back in the machine and you're off to the races. Okay. So 258, thank you. Thanks, Deb. Yeah, it's early. Anyway, y'all know what I mean. Figure out what number stitch you're on, shut the machine off, bring it back on, let it reorient itself so it knows where it is, okay? And then reload the design and get back to whatever number stitch you are on, all right? It's fine. I'm not going to use it, Ginger, because I'm just giving an example. I just glanced at it and got it wrong, okay? No, Shelly, you put the topper on in step 12. After you load it in the hoop, it's loaded right here, step 12. And then step 13 is to stitch the placement line for the fabric. Y'all, that's why these instructions are step by baby step. You can't mess it up so long as you go by the instructions. All right. So now I've got the final stitch on that blue fabric. Whoop, hold on. Is that right? No, this is a placement line for the orange. I should switch colors. Well, I've already started. I'm going to let it stitch. Okay. I see what they're doing. They're saying to switch to the mint. Okay, I'll do that. Because the mint, when you're doing placement and tack down, the color that you use is not exactly a big deal because it's all going to be covered by the final decorative stitch. And the first decorative stitch that is stitched is the mint. So that's why it's telling you to switch your color to the mint, even though you are using a light colored fabric, a different color fabric. Doesn't matter. We got this down. Trust the process. When you're new to Kimberbell, they'll have you do stuff and you're like, what? They are geared for the beginner embroiderer. I love them too. When you're doing multiple hoopings with the little thumbtacks and stuff, you really got to slow down and pay attention and go step by step. All right, trim this away. Okay. Okay, I'm going to make an announcement about the channel. Are you guys listening? When we get back from the cruise on I think it's Monday, the 9th of June, I'm switching to 8 a.m. Central. We're going to back it up an hour. Okay. We're going to go 1 hour back. Let me put this where it goes. Okay. Next. Still going to be Monday through Friday. We're just going to do it at 8 a.m. Central instead of 7, just FYI. Lots of reasons for that, but I just got to let you guys know. Okay, I know some of you like to watch when you're getting ready for work and then whatnot. I can appreciate that, but we need to have some grace for our folks on the West Coast. And this, okay, I'm getting lots of yays. That's good. But I just, oh, what am I doing? I just want to be let you guys know I'm going to change the channel time. No format change. We're still going to have Stitchuation Room, Embroidery Thursday, Giveaway Friday, but it's going to happen at 8 a.m. Central instead of 7. Big reason, you guys, my granddaughter. She can't get up that early. Yeah. So and I just want to let you guys know that. So when we get back from the cruise on June 9th, we'll have a time change on the channel from 7 a.m. Central to 8 a.m. Central, just FYI, okay? Thank you. So Patty, she says that's a great reason. Your channel, your decision. Well, good, TM Jules. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let me trim this one. After this, I think it's just straight embroidery after this, and it's smooth sailing. So, yeah, I know some of you can't make the 8 a.m. live, and I apologize, but my granddaughter needs lessons, right? She's trying to quilt, and she's in Colorado Springs on mountain time, and bless her heart, she can't get up at 6. It's just too early for her. This is kind of a pain on this one. This thing's in the way. So I hope that's all right with y'all, but if it's not, there's always replay, you guys, okay? My son said, Mom, I think folks, because I talked to him about it, he says, I think folks on the East Coast, if they can watch at 8 a.m. their time, they can watch at 9 a.m. their time. I said, probably. Again, we'll have replays for those of you who can't catch that hour later. So you're going to have some time between when Pat Sloan finishes up and when I start. So Quilt Wench, I'd watch you if you came on at midnight. How funny. So see how much fabric I left around the top of that because I couldn't get the scissor around it real well. Don't worry about that. That'll be covered up, okay, by the final stitch. And here we go on the final stitch. So this is why they wanted you to put the mint in, because this is the first stitch that really, yeah, you won't miss the half hour, the first half hour. That's great. So I think it's just a little bit better for my folks on not only on Mountain Time, Pacific Time for sure. Ooh, go girl, go. No, you won't feel guilty if you oversleep. It's fine. Well, good. Well, you guys are sweet. Thank you, Ginger. Yeah. Feel like our friend. We show up and where you are. Thank you. So, yeah, that kind of gets it right in the middle for everybody. So, you know, I know Central, but Central's 2 hours different from one. So it's just easier on folks, but especially my granddaughter. It was hard for her. She'd been here a couple of times. She hasn't been here since before Christmas, but yeah, I still have the topper on. Yeah, Charlene, I do. All about the grandkids. I know, Margie. We know how that is. Yeah. You know, and it's easier for her to kind of watch in the morning over a bowl of cereal with, you know, what she's doing and watching the screen. All right. Thank you, Mary. That's very nice. She says, I'm Eastern, all good by me. Yeah. Well, see, that's it. The majority of my users are, of my viewers are, they're all retired anyway. So anyway, that'll be easier on. I said, I haven't seen Callie in the chat. And he said, Mom, it's pretty early for her. She needs her sleep. Is Callie 13? No, she's 11. She's a little girl. She's 11. This is stitching beautifully on this pleather, you guys. Faux leather. Stitching beautifully. So they recommended a 70-10. I only had a 75-11, brand new needle, nice clean case. Okay. Okay, so now I need the coral or salmon colored thread to stitch around the outside of the other applique. This one. I'll probably still be awake. I get up 5:30 every morning anyway. That just gives me, you know, a little more time to do some computer work or whatever. Oh, I want to tell you guys too, I've gotten messenger messages from some of y'all. Yo, I don't use that app for the most part. Because I see them, right? And I'm like, I don't use it. So if you feel like I didn't answer you, you're in good company. I didn't answer anybody. Okay. You want to get, ask me a question or something, email is always the best way. And my email is below every single video. Okay. I know, Debbie, I love that. She says, it's wonderful you have a granddaughter. Oh, one. Whoop, there we go. That's interested in learning to quilt. She is. I gave her a Brother NQ 3550W 6x10 combo machine, and she's embroidering now. She's doing aprons for the church with their logo. And then, yeah, she's doing that kind of thing, but she wants to learn how to quilt as well. So. All right. Glory is Nikki watching. Hi, Nikki. I hope you have a great day. Any update on my new Avenir? Yeah. Yep. Again, new things after the cruise. Okay, what's next? This dark color. Yeah, I am excited. It's going to be cool. Very excited about it. Oh. And let me put this here. Am I keeping the luminaire? No. As somebody said yesterday so delicately, she's on the trading block. Yeah. I am trading my luminaire. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you like that, Sailing. I'm glad you like that. Appreciate that. If you want to change tomorrow, I'm good with that. Shelly says you can go to 8 o'clock tomorrow. That'd be fine. I just wanted to give you guys some time. I'll mention it from now, through the month of May, April and May. Thanks for my help yesterday. Oh, Bernadette, you did get essentials. Okay, good. Huh. Am I selling it? You're interested? No, Jane, I'm sorry. I'm trading it. That's part of the deal. Dealers are doing very well on traded in luminaires for people who upgraded. They're getting there. So I'm going to Houston, y'all. Yeah, I'm going to Houston as usual. Ought to get it before the tariffs go up. So hopefully, a lot of the dealers that I know have, they're kind of in the know on this kind of thing because those machines come from Taiwan, but they've got Chinese parts in them. Parts are made in China. So the machines themselves come from Taiwan, and they're a good trading partner with us. So that's not a problem, but it's the parts they get them from. Anyway, all right. So next is the one color here, the gray. I have a dark gray. So a lot of dealers have got a bunch of stock already, and the stock that's here, they're good, right? Okay. Okay. And we're ready to go. All right. All of this is satin stitch font. This is a 9-minute stitch. Okay. So if you guys wanted to take a comfort break, go get more coffee, you could do that. We can sit here and visit. I'd love to go to Paducah. I can't swing it this year. I got so much going on. Your Vernia dealer said that the tariffs don't apply to the machines. I have no idea. That's, yeah. Do I anticipate the Avenir will go through the versions like the Luminaire did? I do. I really do. The more features that, and Brother's really good about that. Instead of just scrapping a whole machine and then jumping to a new one, they're really good about doing updates. Well, Karen, I can't wait to see you too. Hey, when you guys do the app Power Tools with Thread, well, I guess you're doing it right. It's not showing up orange on my screen, so I might miss it. So anyway, so I don't know. You know, they say electronics are exempt. I don't know anything about that. Am I ready to share where I'm doing the trade-in? I'm going to come back from the cruise with a new machine. Yeah. So, but Brother and Baby Lock usually are really good about, instead of having to get rid of the whole machine to get better upgrades, they upgrade the machine. Now they continually update all of the software as needed throughout the process. But then this, well, see, if I buy it when I'm at sea, no taxes. Yeah, that's the way I think about that. Do you need enthusiasts if you have essentials and Stitch Artist 3? So you only need enthusiasts. And if you're going to get something, you might hold off until another coupon comes out. Okay. But if I like enthusiasts, because I go through and really, especially when I'm doing Applique, sometimes the software will put stitches where I really don't want them. And so I can use enthusiasts to go in and delete those stitches. So, Jamie, get somebody to help you. You got a neighbor? Is the Stell Air going to be too big to haul to the retreat in Indiana? I don't think so, Kathleen. How heavy is that machine? Like 20 pounds, 25 pounds? How am I feeling about using my chairs after using them now? Rochelle, I like them. Okay, I do like them. If I'm going to sit in them for a very long time, like if I'm editing a video and I'm there for hours, it's 38 pounds. That's a heavy machine. Ugh. You only need a 6x10 hoop for Indiana. You only need a 6x10 hoop. Okay. Sonia, Enthusiast is an editing software. Well, it'll digitize a little bit because it'll allow you to split designs, but you can't draw stitches with Enthusiast. You can draw stitches with Stitch Artist. Yeah, the Luminaire is 44 pounds, way too heavy. Oh, Chris, getting your Avenir today. Congratulations. We're all excited for you. That's wonderful. Y'all, this is beautiful. This is turning out just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Margie. She said her first travel event, she went downstairs into a basement. Woo. Look at the quality on that, you guys. So the Avenir and the Luminaire are the same size physically. I think they're the same weight. I think. Pretty sure. Yes, Dee, I see you. It didn't come up. All one word at Power Tools with Thread didn't come up in my orange either. That's weird. Yeah. Oh, so my back, my L5 is in 2 separate pieces. And so I get a little bit, and I have a condition called a spondylolisthesis. And so sometimes I need a pillow behind my back. The lumbar could be a little bit better, but I like the chair's very comfortable. Oh, you got the Bella box yesterday. Good for you, Dee. They're hard to come by, so good. It doesn't pop up like other. It's weird. Oh, it does. It does pop up. You noticed I use a thread extender on top. Do I always? So the thread tree on the luminaire is standard. So yes, I always use it. And I use it because of the type of thread. So what a great question. Let's talk about thread. Hi, Frito. Did Daddy feed you? So we have cross-wound threads like this. See how that's cross-wound? Cross-wound threads, when they come off the spool, they like to go up and then come back down. They just like doing that, okay? That makes them happy. If you have a straight wound thread, like this, Madeira poly neon, they like to come off on the side. So if I was using Madeira poly neon, I would use the horizontal spool. But if you're using a cross wound, you would use a thread tree. If you don't have a thread tree, I have one down here. This is what I used to use before I got the luminaire. This is what I had it behind my PE 770 for years. Okay. And then I also had it behind the Quattro, because the Quattro, all the machines before the luminaire, including the Stellaire, the lid on the luminaire and the Avenir, you're right, the max hoop is bigger on the Avenir. It should be bigger. I don't know. I measured them. I physically measured them myself, those machines. From the end of this machine, the thing right here to this, they're identical. I was at All Brands and I measured them both. Okay. So anyway, the luminaire and the Avenir, both the top flips completely back, and this is a magnetic thread stand, thread tree. Very nice. You can take it off. Okay. All the other embroidery machines below the luminaire and the Avenir, the top stands up in the back, and there's nowhere for you to put your threads. You don't have that extra tray. This is a wonderful, wonderful feature with this machine. So if you don't have a thread tray, then you would use a thread tree like that right there. I got that on Amazon, like 20 bucks. I don't know, years ago. It's in my Amazon store. Or if you don't have one of those, budget, I get it. Just put it in a cup behind the machine so that the thread comes up and over. And I run it over the top of the top of the machine lid. And I run it, make sure to run it through the thread guide for the bobbin. Kind of helps. So lots of different options, okay? But however you want to do it, cross wound threads like to go up and down, and straight wound threads like to go from the side. I'm not saying it doesn't work the other way. It's what they like to do, okay? This is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, the top can come totally off if you want. The Dream Machine does have a 2-spool stand. Yeah, you have to take the cover off. Yes. Oh, good. Sonia found one to use with her old Elegante. I used to have an Elegante. I bought it on Judy's got the technology right. A 2-post thread thingy. Yes, it's what they are. This is beautiful, you guys. You know, Connie, she says her husband picks up the cups from behind her machine and puts them in the wash. That's good. That's keeping dust out of there. You know, because the cup will collect dust and crud and stuff that floats in. And that prevents that dust and whatnot from getting caught on your thread and being pulled into your projects. I think that's wonderful. Extra points for him today. Good job. Have I chosen a project for next Thursday yet? No. Now we're going to be doing projects from the Bella Box all throughout the season. So I'm not going to do another one till one. I've got to do one a month is what I've got to do. I signed a paper. So we still give the pup a treat. We do. Bonnie, he's going to get, my baby lock has a thread thingy. Connie says, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Good for him. How many stitches are on my Lumi? Okay, so my Luminaire, 4.6 million, but this was a floor model at All Brands, and they had been doing those big thread painting pictures on it. So I didn't put as many on it as they did, I'm sure. What's next? What is next? Where are we at? Stitch 12. I'm sitting here yakking with y'all. Where are we at? Oh, I've got to do, let's see, 12 is step number 29. Stitch the swatches accent lines in white. All right. So see, it has a machine and a 12 and a white box. That's my thread color. How about that? Trust the process. Okay. You cannot mess this up. Well, you can, but it won't be their fault. It'll be user error. Okay. It is so cool. If you guys get a chance, go in and look on my channel and do a Kimberbell tour of Kimberbell. You should see the upstairs of their facility. It's got every home embroidery machine possible up there, and they test the designs on every single one of them. Very cool. All right. I got a tail on this. Hold on. I'll let it go a little bit. I don't want that tail in my stitching. Okay. So this is going through heavy satin stitching and the pleather and the topper and the stabilizer just fine. I got a little tail that's not getting pulled down in. So I'm going to trim that right now so that it doesn't have a little thing I got to trim later. So you have the same condition, fractured back 4 times in L5. Oh, Penny, I know, girl. Mine was done with a bag drag, carrying a heavy bag on my back, tripped, fell backwards. Okay. Okay. Frito, no, she's right here laying next to me licking her chops. I do a lot of self-care for my back, you guys. A lot of self-care. Okay, now we have the little leaves. Need to get those on. I have one of those yeah, my sciatic bothers me constantly because of that. You know, because you compensate, right? for things, and that causes stuff to go wacky everywhere else. A lady I worked with named Deb, she was really cool. She was kind of hippy dippy, we used to call her. She was our training manager. She introduced me to a book by Pete Egoscu called Pain Free. And that helped me enormously. It's all about treating it yourself and getting yourself back into a bilateral balance. Oh, it really helped a lot. So no medication, you know, none of that. I mean, it's something as simple as laying on the floor when you're watching TV and putting your feet, your legs up 90 and your knees on a couch or something, and just lay there for 15 minutes. And it just allows your pelvis and everything to kind of realign. Just little stuff like that, standing straight against a wall, you know, doing all these different things. It's just amazing. So it's called Pain Free by Pete Egoscu. And I wish I had an Egoscu center near me, but I don't. The closest one, I think, is up in Dallas or Vegas. Yeah, they're in California. Lori wants to know where you can find a thread tree like the one I have. Let me show you how to find my Amazon store, my friend, because my new spool will help my back. That's another reason I'm getting it. Yes, absolutely. So let me go to my Amazon store. I want to find I want to show you how you can find. Let me put this on mute. Let me go here. Okay, now what? The pink flower, little pretty pink there. We're doing decorative stitches now. I am so surprised at how pretty the stitches through the faux leather. Okie dokie. Oh, yeah. Okay. I got a little loop I don't like. Let me pull this. Okay. So I want to show you guys how you can find my Amazon store. I'm going to go to the video I made yesterday and show y'all. I'm share
You can
this
put your
screen.
hand in the middle if
And
you want.
let me stop it so I don't get yucky. Okay. Now, underneath the video, you've got videos to watch next and whatnot, and you can click more down here. And here are all of the links that I have for stuff that I use and stuff you guys ask me about all the time. You can come right down here to Around My Sewing Room, and you can jump to my Amazon store. Okay. Let me see if it does it. Did it jump? It did not. Okay. So that's how you find the links. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this. And then I'm going to show you the Amazon store. Hold on. I got a thread color change. Just a minute. My little blue flower. I guess it's a gray. It's the same. Not that one. This one. This is where having a multi-needle is really nice. So once you get to the point of you're done with all the applique, you just let it go. You know, it changes all the threads for you and everything. It's very handy. Very nice. Okay. So then once you click on that Amazon, what you get is this. So it's amazon.com/shop/power tools with thread. And then down here, I have tech and home, my embroidery favorites, my quilting favorites, things in my RV, travel favorites, okay? What I use on my chicken, I don't use those anymore. Scan and cut items, those are the different things. So you go to my embroidery favorites, there's 146 things in here. And here's all the stuff that I talk about, okay? There's those flour sack towels. You can get embrilliance here if you want, that's fine. And there's the racks that I have my thread on right up above, all of that. The cards that I've used that worked really well. Embroidery tape. There's your little Ackfeld wire stand. All of this stuff, you guys. Okay. So somewhere in this 146 list of things is the tree stand somewhere. There's my IV pole and my iron, you guys. Oh my gosh, I got all this stuff in here. There's your clear blue tiles. Let's get down here and see where it's at. There's my bobbins. So this is the stuff I use and I love or have used and really recommend it. It has never done me wrong. There's that PE. Look at the PE 800, $9.49. Oh my goodness. Okay. There's the 770. They say see details. I don't think they sell it anymore. All right. Anyway, so this is where you can find all of the goodies that I use on Amazon. There it is right there. $36.99. That's it. The Embroidex 20 spool thread stand. Great, great product. Love it. Last one in the thing. That was the first one I put in there. That's why you can't see it. Or that's why it's at the bottom. Okay. What do I use for my stabilizer organization? Sandy, that was that shoe tree looking thing, that shoe rack that was right at the top. Do I have a video on using clear blue tiles? Yes, Marina, I do. And it's pre-recorded. I explain. Type in clear blue tiles in the YouTube search and my video will come up 1 or 2. What do we got? What are we doing now? Centers, white. Okay. This is our last stitch, y'all. We'll be done. Okay. You know, Amazon dropped my commission. They dropped everybody's commission, not just mine. By 1%. I'm sure it's not much in the grand scheme of things. It is for them because they have thousands and thousands of influencers. I'm a little disappointed in that. All right, let me do this. I'm going to trim this just a little bit so that I don't have a tail. There we go. I swear, when you're doing embroidery, doesn't it look like your needle's bending when you're watching it go back and forth? All right, this is it. Yay. Yay. Okay, so I've got a little tail that needs trimmed here. Love that. Oh, I got another one right there. Everything else looks beautiful. Okay. Let you guys get in here. Take a look. Where's my button? There it is. Let's see. Look at the quality of that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just beautiful. Okay. So, thank you. Marina says it looks fantastic. Why do I not just thread the machine, wondering if there's a purpose to tying and pulling it through? Efficiency, Sharon. Efficiency. That's how they do it in industry. All right. So we have done part 1, which was the test, and part 2, which is stitching out the design. Now that we are finished with all of the embroidery, Remove the tape and tear away the excess topping. All right. Let's do that. I'm going to try to get as much of this as I can off without it having to wet it. I really don't want to wet the front if I can avoid it. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try. Because that comes up pretty clean. Let me see here. Yeah. Try to get and grab big pieces, you guys, as best you can. Also, I shouldn't use a scissor to get up under these little pieces, y'all. You may want to do something like a purple fang, just something that's not going to make an accidentally slice something that's not going to accidentally slice your faux leather. You don't want to do that. Okay. So if you can, I'm just using a purple fang to get under here and kind of pop it away from the stitching. You shouldn't use a scissor. It's way too easy to slice stitches or the faux leather or whatever. And if you pull it straight back against the stitches, you'll get a better result. Kind of pull everything up. Oh. This goes all the way up into the A here. There. Oh, pretty, pretty. See, that gets into the... Now, there's still stabilizer, the topper in the... what is that? There's still topper in the center of the letters. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay. I'm going to remove this. Woo, this is on. I'm going to have to tear the tape to get this off. I've never used this stuff before. Yeah, I can use the tweezers to get stabilizer out on top. If you don't want to fiddle with getting it wet, you can cut a pretty piece of, fabric with like a pinked edge and just put that on that and cover the back of the stitching, just like on a card, same idea. You could do that. Lots of different options here. Oh, that's going the wrong way. I see. Wow. This is tough stuff. I don't like pulling it like that. You're going to be watching repeats, Brenda? Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. So instead of pulling the leather away from the sticky, I'm pulling the sticky away from the leather here. That seems to work better. Okay, so here's all the back of this. And it says that you should rinse this off. Y'all, I can't even hardly see it, and I don't care that it's there. Plus, it's really ugly right there, right? And if you want to trim, because it makes you crazy, you can trim the tails, but don't trim the knots. Don't want to do that. Beautiful stitch on this. I want to show you guys. You can tell when you've got a good bobbin tension. You should have a line around each side of color and then a wide bobbin thread, okay? Yep. Going to be a wide bobbin thread. All right. A pink eraser works well to remove the water-soluble stabilizer on top. No kidding, Lori. I didn't know that. Really? I got one. Hold on. Let me come in my desk here. Find that eraser. Where is it? I love the tricks that I learn in this group. You never know. Let me see. Carly Bell, she comes on. She's a Takeover Tuesday. I love her. She's so precious. So let's see. I don't want to use that end. I might mess it up. There's a clean end right there. Let me do this. Oh, yeah. Look at that. How nice is that? Well, thank you so much for that little tip. I love that. Awesome, y'all. Look at this. You can get in those little centers. A circular seems to work better than a straight. Oh my goodness. You've just made my day. Look at that. Came right off. Yay. Thank you. Now there's going to be a run on pink erasers. Quilt wrench. That looks amazing. I love it. I learned something new. Yay. I love this community. Thank you so much. I'm glad I caught that little comment. It doesn't hurt the stitching. I got a little piece here I got to grab. But to get all that stuff out of the middle of those little fonts, look at that. It just lifts it right up so you can get a hold of it. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Thank you. That is so cool. That turned out really nice. I love it. Pink eraser trip tomorrow. Gotta go get one. All right, so now I gotta take off all this tape and get all this stuff off because now we got to put it together. And I've got to read the instructions on how to do that because this is one of those origami folding thingies, right? The way they have it. All right. That is a new tool. I can't wait. I'm going to share that tomorrow. You missed the tip. You can use a pink eraser. You don't want to use the dirty side like you want to use a clean end, and it will get rid of all of the little bits of topper stabilizer left over. Or at least it'll lift it up where you can get a hold of it in little bitty spots. Yeah, awesome. Love that. Does a very good job. Okay. So let me get this tape off this thing now. Okay. You have to sew down the flap on your sewing machine? Okay. That's all right. We'll work it out. It'll be done. Okay. So now, just ordered erasers on Amazon. Got it. Go into Staples. Okay. This turned out beautiful. All right. So now, where are we at? Okay. So now open this thing up. I got to read my directions here. Open this bad boy up like this. And get it to lay as flat as you can. Okay. Boy, that's stitched really nice. No, you can't send them a super sticker. I'm sorry. Autism. No, you can't. There's no way to do that. All right, so here we are, all opened up. Now, what do I do here? How does this work? Okay, fold section 4. Let me see. Place the tote on a smooth, flat surface, smooth side up. Upside down, so I'm looking at the Kimberbell logo. Okay? Not textured, smooth side up. With the logo facing up and the design in the section 4 right side down, section 4 should lay to the right. That's this over here to the right. I need a bigger thing. Hold on. This is not. I have the technology for this. This is fine. There we go. We use a bigger quiltless cut and press. If y'all are going on the cruise, bring a cut and press or a Steady Betty or something for lap work. You're going to need it. Okay. I didn't tell Jamie that for the list. Do I what? What do you mean Staples? Amazon. Oh. Yeah, Amazon is right. You don't have to get dressed and go anywhere. Okay. So now this gets folded back this way. It has a line there. See, y'all got all wound up. There was no reason for that. You had me second guessing myself. Okay, so you got this like that. Fold section 4 over to the left, covering section 3. The right side of the design will be facing up, facing this way. Yes. Sew section 4 down by top stitching all the way around on each side. Oh. All right. I'm going to get some clips here. Okay. And I imagine it doesn't indicate what color of thread. So I'm just going to go over to my regular straight stitch machine and stitch this down. So let's go over there. Okay, we're going to get this finished today, y'all. Okay, I won't be able to see. No, this isn't a snack. You can bring extra snacks. So I can't see your comments. I just want to make sure I can see the screen so I know what you guys are looking at. I'm going to switch cameras. Oh, see, that's what happens when you pull. There we go. Come on, there you go. All right. Oh, something happened. I'm on the wrong camera now. Hold on a minute here. There we go. Okay, back to normal. That's why I need to turn this. Thank you, Lori. Tip of the day. Not a girl. I just need to be able to see what you see so I can make sure that I'm knocking things over. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Good. Okay. How about that? Woo, magic. Love. You're too far away for me to read your comments, but y'all can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch. Did it say all the way around or 3 sides? I really want a matching thread. I really, really want a matching thread. I've got to find a matching thread. That's going to make me crazy. Let me get a light gray. That's going to make me nuts. Too dark, too dark. I'll use this embroidery thread. This will work. I'm going to use a 40 weight embroidery thread in my machine. Is this going to look good? Yes, that will look fine. Okay. I know some of you can just thread your machine faster than you can, especially embroidery machines, faster than doing this, but I've trained myself to do this, that it just works. Okay. Unthread the needle, pull it through, put that back down. My needle threader on this machine is the Pitts, so I've got to do this the old-fashioned way. Alrighty. Okay. So I want to keep this really straight. I think it's going to be seen. Okay. I think you'll be able to see it. So I'm going to, again, one more time, y'all. I can't read your comments and I don't have the directions. And is it 3 sides or 4 sides? Ugh. I got to do it right. I apologize. It is all 4 sides. Okay. So I'm going to start near the bottom, not right on the top where, you know, kind of where your eye would go first. I don't want to do that. I'm going to start like down here, maybe like that. Okay. And I'm going to go up to about a 3 stitch length. That looks more professional. Right there. Ooh, nice. I didn't go with a vinyl foot or any of that. Now this machine, handling this like a knife through butter, you guys. I'm making sure that the edge of the flap is right in the center of my 1/4 inch foot toe to keep it straight. That's fine. I need one more little stitch. I'm going to go way down to like 1.5. Okay, back up to 3. Better, perfect, perfect. Okay, I've never done this before. This is fun. Getting resistance on this. Let me get that nice and flat. I'm going to go over my first stitch. I don't want to back stitch on this stuff, so I'm going to go over a couple stitches to lock them in and call it good. And that's it. You don't want to back stitch on these things. I've got experience with stitching on this type of product before when I was doing like bags. Okay. But I've never done a Kimberbell blank before. Okay. Oh, that turned out so pretty, y'all. That's beautiful. Very nice. Okay. Let me turn you around here. Come back in here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I knocked my tape dispenser over. Okay. Look at that. Didn't that come out beautiful? Look how pretty that is. Little bit longer stitch length gives you a very nice finish Okay, that turned out just beautiful. Love it. And again, I did not do a back stitch. You don't want that thickness. Okay, I just kind of overlapped it a little bit and then trimmed it close. Okay, it's not going through the washing machine, so it's not like you got to do anything like that. Where's my button? Okay. Happy about this. Okay, now I got to get back to putting this thing together. And I lost my page. It really is beautiful. I know, Connie. I'm so pleased with it. Okay, now how does this go? Whoever came up with this at Kimberbell is ingenious. Absolutely ingenious. All right, so let's get back to putting this thing together to figure out how this works. All right, so I've done step 3 on finishing. So now flip the tote textured side up and fold the handle flap closest to you toward the middle. Pull the left and right flaps closest to you toward the center and overlap them, aligning the slots. Okay. It put this one in first, right? No. Did I do that wrong? Yeah, this little loop goes up here. Okay. I'm not doing, flip the tote, touch your side up, fold the handle flap closest to you and toward the middle. I did. Pull left and right flaps closest to you. That's me, that's this side. Toward the center and overlap them, aligning the slots. I'm doing something wrong. I don't understand. Grab both my flaps. Ah. Yeah. I got it. So step 5 looks like it's flat, but it's not. It's actually kind of standing up. Got you. Okay. Got this. And then from the inside of the tote, thread the handle flap through the bottom slot and pull taut. Oh, this is so cool. Somebody laid awake at night and thought of this. You stand it up is what you do. And then this goes like this, back through this one. Look at that. Now, this one's on the outside, so I'm going to put this side on the outside as well. Oops. Oh, wow. You guys, a lot of you have paid money to go to classes to show you how to do this. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Is it done? It's done. It's all finished. Yay. Awesome. How cute is this? Oh, my goodness. This turned out adorable, y'all. Look at that. How cute is that? My little tote. I got to pull my flap up a little tauter. Taut. Pull it up taut so that it wants to almost crease, right? Yeah, if you get it so it almost creases, you get a nice pretty bottom there. Go ahead and squeeze it. I'm squeezing it. Look at that. How cute is this? I love this. Oh my goodness. This is adorable. Oh my gosh. My first fabric tote with Kimberbell, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. No boo-boos, no drama, no trouble. It is so pretty. Awesome. This is going to be in my sewing room probably till the day I drop over dead. I love it. I think it's just adorable. Hey, you guys, we have been here quite some time. We're over 2 hours today. But thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope that you have an opportunity to make one of these. These are not they only are not with the Bella boxes. You can buy these separate, okay, and get these blanks and put pretty pictures on them. And I hope you got a lot of tips and tricks in order to be able to do this. Switch my flaps. Why would I switch my flaps? I think I'm good. Oh, you're right. So good. Yeah, I saw that. So see how this is hanging out here? I don't want that. I need to put that one. Yep. See, we all learn together. Let me put this back so I can see what I'm doing here. Switch my flaps so that, oh, this goes from the inside. Right? Yes. I don't know how I got that wrong. Okay. You want the gap here to the back on both sides. Okay. That's what you want. Tote is awesome. Ta-da! I know, Linda. Yay! The tote is awesome. They have just learning how to put this thing together as its own little class right there. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it. This is so stinking cute. All right. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. This has been a lot of fun. I absolutely loved it. I hope you got a lot out of it. Be sure to check these products out if you've come across them in your quilt shops, or you can get them from Me Time Delivered, or you can also find them, I'm pretty sure, at my girlfriend's quiltshop.com. But anyway, I will link to them below when we get done with the video if you're looking to make something. But this is just adorable. You don't have to only use a Kimberbell design on these totes. You can get the blank and then put whatever you want on there. You know, I could put Becky's Sewing Studio on there, whatever I wanted. So anyway, thank you again. And if you're watching on replay, I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this. You guys give the video a thumbs up and subscribe so we can spend more time together. And we will see you tomorrow morning on Giveaway Friday in the Stitchuation Room, 7 a.m. Central. We're not changing till 8 until June 9th. All right. Talk to you soon. Love you guys. Go sew something. Bye.